Hello, good morning, and welcome to another fun-filled week in Minnesota. We spent last week driving through the Midwest to get up to the northern woods of Minnesota. Last year we got to experience Wisconsin, and that was absolutely beautiful, and we went all the way into the upper peninsula of Michigan, but we just couldn't make it around to this area before we had to start headed south. And I promise you guys, it was worth the wait and worth the drive up here. We have this entire lake to ourselves this morning as we're tucked away in the Chippewa National Forest, is what I believe it is called. I did absolutely no research as to how you pronounce that, so if I'm wrong, leave me a comment and tell me how you say it up here. Y'all hang on, this week's gonna be fun. I have no idea where we're going, but I know it's in Minnesota because all that's left is Canada after this.
You know, guys, I'm not gonna lie, we haven't done a whole lot of anything today other than sit out and look over this beautiful little lake and making some music and relaxing. This evening, we've got some friends out to play. Believe that these are beavers, maybe otters. They haven't gotten close enough for us to see for sure. Let's see if we can zoom in enough. There's one. Oh, guys, those clouds are rolling in. I looked it up this morning, and I think that we're good for the rest of the day, but there are definitely storms coming for tonight and tomorrow, which means it might be time for us to say goodbye to this perfect little camping spot. I could honestly stay here for quite a while and be happy, but our time up here is limited and we want to explore as much of Minnesota as possible. So if tomorrow is going to not be a travel day, today needs to be. Who knows though? Maybe the next camp spot will be even better. Let's go see what we can find, y'all.
Gonna take a little trip down the mighty Mississippi. Boy, that's tiny. We're almost to the beginning of it. Look at this bridge. You can almost throw a rock across it, Kelsey. Boy, that water's got a long way to go. You'll be in the ocean one day. Just keep flowing.
Wow, that's cool.
Beautiful.
Guys, we have been driving all day long. About 5 hours and about 40 miles, give or take, through the Chippewa National Forest, searching desperately for a spot that is even comparable to the one that we started out in this morning. And unfortunately, guys, we did not find it. We've got to admit that we lucked out pretty hard on our first camping spot in Minnesota, and it appears that we have lucked out again because we made it back to our spot and nobody had taken it. I don't know if those storms are gonna miss us tonight or not. If they do, then we will shoot again tomorrow. And if not, we're just gonna be grateful to spend another day in this beautiful spot. What do you think, Shane?
I think that was a lot of dirt roads to end up back down this dirt road, but it's a pretty one and by far the best one in the whole forest. I can say that with confidence.
Yeah, we did get to know the Chippewa National Forest pretty well today. Even if the storms do come, it's gonna be pretty over that lake. And maybe our otters are out to play again tonight too. Well, guys, while it's been a cloudy day, those storms have been kind enough to pass over us, and it's been a dry one. We've covered about 200 miles, Shane, is that right?
Close to that.
And entered into the Superior National Forest. And are looking for somewhere to call home for the night. Boy, this place is gorgeous. This is what fairy tales are made of, y'all.
I don't know if I can get back there, Kelsey.
I think we can make it.
Got somewhere to go.
For those of you that don't know, this is what happens every time we make it to the questionable road. Shane goes up ahead to check things out. It looks pretty passable though. I think he's worried about tree height. Well, what's the verdict?
Not worth shoehorning this thing back there. We'll go find somewhere else.
On to the next one. Oh, guys, we've done it again. This one doesn't have water or cell phone service, but one thing it is not lacking in is beauty. I feel like a Disney princess out here in this forest. There's my prince and his trusty white steed.
Almost stepped on him. We got quite a bit of rain last night. But boy, is this forest pretty. You know, growing up, I always saw forest on cartoons and on television, and I never understood why my woods and my backyard just didn't look like it. And this is what you see. Quintessential forest.
Yo, we woke up this morning and hit the road in search of another body of water. And boy, have we found it. You can't spend time in the land of the lakes without making sure that you spend all of your time on lakes, right? If you notice, this spot is a little more manicured than our usual spot, and that's because we're in a paid campground. Now, if you've been following us along for a while, you know that that's not usually our style. And with this much public land surrounding us, if we're willing to pay for camping, we've got a really good reason. I can tell you, I'm pretty excited to be here. And it's not just because this spot's awesome, but really it is.
Come on, Kelsey. It's time for an adventure. Come on, Kelsey, paddle harder. We're gonna run into the rocks. Not that side. What are you doing? I'm kidding. This lake is beautiful. Where are we at, Kelsey? Birch Lake? Birch Lake, Minnesota.
This is how you're supposed to explore Minnesota, right, guys?
It is. We're practicing. Because you can head up into the headwaters for weeks on end into backcountry camping, but you got to use a canoe to get there. We're not canoers, are we, Kels?
Not yet.
Maybe one day. Until then, it's a heck of a way to see this forest.
Well, I call that a good parking spot. Guys, a couple days ago, we were absolutely stoked to have a little lake to ourselves. And today, we are equally stoked to have a little island on a big lake all to ourselves. Ready for a picnic, babe?
Just like Gilligan. I hope we don't get stranded here, though. I didn't bring my tent. Do we have to leave? This place is magical.
Unfortunately, we don't have a tent with us, so we kind of have to paddle back.
Okay.
Eventually. Look, guys, there's the Love Hut. It's hidden back there in those trees. We've made our way all the way home, guys. Just in time for the rain to start. We'll get back out there tomorrow. Y'all, it is an absolutely beautiful morning in Minnesota, and we are taking advantage of our last few hours with this little canoe of ours. I'm not sure what the rest of the day holds. I know that we're getting out of here and heading towards new adventures soon. But for the moment, I'm just enjoying where we're at. Boy, that's a good way to start a day. We've pulled offshore for a little bit of a break and gotten a little bit of cell phone service. Hey Shane, how far are we from Canada?
About 20 miles if you're a bird. If you're a fish, a little further. If you're two dinguses in a canoe, a lot further.
A whole lot closer than we've ever been though, y'all. As far as paid campgrounds go, that one was pretty awesome. And the people were really nice too. But it is time for new adventures, and we have headed back into the Superior National Forest, looking for something a little more secluded to call home for the night. Let's see what we can find, y'all.
We drove for hours today and walked a lot too, because we were in search of, that perfect camping spot next to a lake out in the middle of nowhere. There are a lot of lakes out in the middle of nowhere, but unfortunately the camping spots next to them, if you can get to them, is mostly you got to carry a tent with you. Now, the reason for all the walking is because you can see this stuff really encroaches quite quickly. So we made our way down a lot of paths in the Love Hut, but ultimately had to turn around due to tree coverage. And what we did find is one of many, 17 to my understanding, in this region. The Forest Service has these free little campgrounds. This one has 8 spots in it. Some of them are as small as 3. But if you notice, I'm walking out on a pier over this huge lake. What a find. With literally the same amenities as the one last night. There's an outhouse. And only one neighbor. Thanks, Minnesota. This is beautiful. Now make the mosquitoes go away, please. Good morning, y'all. I can say without question, I'm very grateful we got to experience canoeing in this region when we did, because weather has kicked in. And these calm, serene lakes change a little when the wind starts blowing. Ugh. That would be terrifying. I'm happy to be on this pier. I wonder where I'll be tonight. I bet it's still inside this forest. I told y'all yesterday, but the name of this place is Lake Island or Island Lake. I don't know which way it's printed. It's a beautiful place, but I do believe we have experienced all we're going to experience here. The wind's really kicking up. So we're going to be driving into the forest and seeing if we can find a tree-covered camping area, because campgrounds and neighbors just ain't cutting it. Let's go see what wild we can find.
And just a few miles down the road, we found what I'm gonna call perfection. And a nice little place amongst the giants to park the Love Hut. And no one around for miles. I think we might put this fire pit to good use. Let's walk around a little bit first though. Well, guys, I said that we were going to use that fire pit, but apparently the universe had different plans. At least we got parked here before it hit, though.
That is true. At least there's gravel coming in here too. No mud puddles. We made the right choice.
Yeah, we'll be all right. I love listening to the rain on the top of this roof. Oh, those trees are still moving, but at least it's not raining. So we wanted to get out and explore a little bit. It looks like this area has definitely been used as a shooting range before. But look at this really awesome sign we just found.
Might I note that it's from Wisconsin. It was imported here to shoot. That's a piece of art, Kelsey.
Yeah, I think we could find some room for that. Let's see what else we find. Yo, those storms last night were wild, but we came out of it okay. And this morning, see absolutely no reason to pack up and say goodbye to this beautiful spot just yet. Let's do a little more exploring today, y'all. Maybe some music making too.
I think Sasquatch likes banjo. I have a t-shirt that says Sasquatch likes banjo, so I'm playing this hoping that Sasquatch comes and finds me. I hadn't seen him yet though. Have you?
Good plan, Shane. Let's see if we can find Sasquatch today.
Come out!
Hey, Shane. I found our next Christmas tree.
Yep. That'll fit.
We would have to buy so many decorations and a new house.
Y'all, I tell you what, this has been one heck of a week in one heck of a place. I can't begin to describe how much I've enjoyed traveling through Minnesota. And I can promise you the next week, we got some more of it to see because we're up at the tippy top of it, which means we got to get out of here. Y'all make sure you come back next week to see just where we end up and how we experience that. Kelsey, tell them bye now.
Bye, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time watching this video. If you haven't already done so, be sure and hit those subscribe buttons, thumbs up, and comment below because it is the only way that we know to be grateful for you. We want to take the time to say thank you to all of you who have watched this video and any of our other ones. Peace out. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.